A tariff is a tax on goods brought into a country from abroad, an extra fee added to foreign products at the border. The main goal? Make imports more expensive, nudging consumers to buy domestic products instead. Tariffs also raise money for the government and have been used for centuries to shape economies and international relationships. President Trump made tariffs central to his economic and foreign policy, using them as leverage in negotiations and to address issues beyond trade, like immigration. His approach is direct impose tariffs quickly to create economic pain and force other countries to the table. This marks a sharp break from previous administrations, which preferred multinational agreements and organizations like the WTO to settle disputes. Trump's method is unilateral, fast, and intentionally disruptive. Critics argue tariffs hurt American consumers and businesses, raising prices and production costs. When imports get pricier, it's American families and companies that often pay the price. Many U.S. manufacturers rely on imported parts, so tariffs can make them less competitive. The debate is fierce. Are tariffs a tool to reclaim American strength, or a self-inflicted wound on the economy? This fundamental disagreement has now landed before the Supreme Court. The outcome could redefine how America wields its economic power. The Supreme Court case isn't about whether tariffs are good or bad. It's about who has the power to impose them. The Constitution gives Congress, not the President, the authority to levy taxes and tariffs. The lawsuit claims President Trump overstepped by using the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, IEEPA, to impose tariffs without Congress. IEPA was meant for true national emergencies, not routine trade disputes. The administration argues unfair trade practices are an emergency, justifying unilateral action. Justices questioned whether this interpretation lets the president bypass Congress entirely, threatening the balance of power. A ruling against the administration would reassert Congress's role and limit presidential power. A ruling in favor would cement broad executive authority over trade, reshaping American diplomacy for years. The stakes go far beyond tariffs. They're about the very structure of American government. The financial stakes of the Supreme Court's decision are enormous. If the tariffs are ruled illegal, the government could owe over $100 billion, possibly up to $1 trillion in refunds to importers. This has sparked a secondary market companies sell their potential refund claims to investors for quick cash, while investors gamble on a big payout if the court rules against the government. In 2025, claims traded for just 16 to 28 cents on the dollar, reflecting the uncertainty. The administration faces a dilemma. It's already collected billions in tariffs, with ideas floated for rebates to families and military members. But if refunds are ordered, those plans vanish, and the government must scramble to pay back years of duties. The outcome could trigger one of the largest payouts in U.S. history, with ripple effects across the economy. The financial world is watching closely, turning a legal battle into a high-stakes wager. The decision will determine not just future policy, but what happens to billions already collected. The fiscal consequences could be felt for years. Tariffs don't just hit governments and big corporations, they impact businesses, workers, and families across America. Companies relying on imported parts face higher costs, forcing them to either absorb losses or raise prices. Some industries, like steel, benefit from protection, but many others struggle with increased expenses and lost competitiveness. Despite promises to boost manufacturing, the U.S. lost 67,000 factory jobs in 2025, as higher costs and foreign retaliation outweighed any gains. Workers in affected sectors face layoffs and uncertainty, while retaliatory tariffs from abroad hit American exports like bourbon. For consumers, tariffs act as a hidden tax, raising prices on everyday goods from TVs to shoes. The extra costs add up, shrinking household budgets and raising the cost of living. The political debate may rage in Washington, but the real impact is felt at the checkout counter. Tariffs disrupt businesses, threaten jobs, and squeeze family finances. The consequences are personal, not just political. The tariff wars have shaken the global economy, straining U.S. relations with China, Europe, and beyond. The U.S.-China trade war disrupted supply chains, forcing companies to rethink manufacturing and delaying new tariffs on critical products like semiconductors. Europe responded to U.S. tariffs with its own, hurting industries on both sides. German car exports to the U.S. fell 14% in 2025. Iconic products like Scotch whiskey and American bourbon became casualties, with steep tariffs slashing overseas sales. The administration's use of tariffs as diplomatic weapons has left allies wary, as trade policy can shift overnight for reasons unrelated to economics. Even new deals, like the EU's acceptance of a 15% tariff on most exports to the US, signal a move toward more protectionist managed trade. The global system is shifting away from free trade, toward fragmented blocks and persistent economic friction. Industries and consumers worldwide are caught in the middle, facing uncertainty and higher costs. The world's trading order is being rewritten, one tariff at a time. As the Supreme Court deliberates, the Trump administration is preparing for defeat, but not retreat. Officials plan to shift legal justification for tariffs to other trade laws, like Section 301 of the Trade Act and Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act. These laws allow tariffs in response to unfair trade or national security threats, but require lengthy investigations and public input. The process would be slower and less flexible than the rapid action possible under EPA, reducing the president's leverage. Businesses are hedging their bets, some cashing out refund claims, others holding on, unsure if refunds will ever materialize. Even if the legal battle ends, the trade war is likely to continue under a new name. The uncertainty leaves companies struggling to plan for the future. No matter the verdict, tariffs remain a central tool in U.S. trade strategy. The Supreme Court's ruling will set the course for America's trade future. If the court limits presidential power, trade policy could return to a more predictable, collaborative approach, welcomed by allies and businesses. This would force Congress and the White House to work together, creating more stable, long-term policies. But it could also slow responses to unfair trade, frustrating those who want aggressive action. If the court upholds broad executive authority, tariffs will remain a fast, powerful tool, ensuring the confrontational strategy continues. Industries relying on protection may benefit, but those dependent on global supply chains will face ongoing challenges. The economy could become more resilient, but less integrated with the world. The court's choice will shape America's economic path for years to come. This Supreme Court case is about more than tariffs. It's a battle over America's economic identity. One vision favors aggressive, unilateral action to protect U.S. industries, rewriting global trade rules if necessary. The other values stability, alliances, and a rules-based system, warning that tariffs ultimately hurt American families and businesses. The decision will tip the scales, either limiting presidential power and restoring Congress's role, or cementing a new era of economic nationalism. The outcome will shape everything from prices at the store to the future of U.S. jobs and alliances. America must decide, lead a globalized world, or protect itself from it. Whatever the verdict, the consequences will echo for a generation.